Introduction to Production and Costs. Okay, let's go back all the way to the beginning of the course, where we defined our definition of economics. In the first lecture, we covered one of the fundamental assumptions of economics, that people have unlimited wants. And I kind of mentioned in that lecture that we assume something similar about firms, that the main goal of firms is to maximize their profits. Now, just as with people, this is a very simplifying assumption because sometimes we see firms do something a little bit different from just trying to maximize profits. For example, some firms are more devoted to dominating their market or achieving the highest volume possible. This has been a strategy pursued by a lot of firms lately, like Uber, whose platforms that think that if you can manage to take over the entire market, eventually profitability will come. But in the short run, what you're trying to do is try to maximize your control of the market or your volume in the market. Another motivation that firms have is not so much to maximize profits, but to maximize their stock price to keep their stockholders happy. So they might engage in things like share buybacks, where the firm actually buys back some of the shares, thereby increasing the value of the shares to the people who hold the stock. This doesn't do anything to profitability, but it does increase the stock price. So that might be another motivation that firms might pursue. And finally, sometimes the firm chooses its strategy based on the CEO or founder's ego. There's kind of an example at the bottom of the page here. Think about Elon Musk when he was making his decision to buy Twitter. Did he buy Twitter to maximize profits, or did he do it for some other more personal reason? If he did it to maximize profits, so far he hasn't been doing a very good job of achieving that objective. But it's probably true that he had some other idea in mind when he bought the company. Okay, but we're going to assume, at least for purposes of this course, that firms usually try to maximize profits. Going forward, we need a definition of how we calculate what are profits. And it's very simple. Profits equal revenues minus costs. Now we're going to start using math in this chapter of the course a little bit more. So down at the bottom there, I've got the Greek letter pi equals R minus C. That's the way an economist would actually write that profits equal revenue minus costs. We frequently use Greek letters and we frequently use pi as a shorthand for profits. So you'll see that a lot in textbooks and in lectures and places like that. Okay, so we've got our definition of the profits that firms are trying to maximize. But the costs of producing something are what was paid for the inputs used to produce the output. That is, for the land, labor, and capital that the firm used. To produce more, a firm has to buy more inputs. It has to have more workers in their labor, more raw materials, more capital goods, or whatever. So to develop an economic model of costs and how they vary with the level of production, how the firm chooses how much to produce in order to maximize its profits, we first need to develop a model of the production process, the relationship between those inputs and output. And then we'll use what we have learned about productivity in the production process and how it varies with the level of output to study costs. Next week, we're going to use these results to study how firms choose what and how much to produce to maximize profits. But this week, we're going to focus first on production and productivity, and then we're going to use that to talk about costs.